India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Italy to attend the G20 Summit. In a message to world leaders ahead of the summit, Prime Minister Modi said that the focus must be on pandemic recovery, the climate fight, and tackling cross-border terrorism. Prime Minister Modi's visit comes at a time when the world is looking to India to set an example in sustainable and speedy pandemic recovery. According to the IMF, India will remain the fastest growing economy in the post-pandemic world. The G20 this year has gained special significance, and the meet comes at a time when global economies are struggling with unemployment, hunger, and supply chain crisis crippling the world. On day one of his visit to Italy, Prime Minister Modi held bilateral meetings with Charles Michel, the President of the European Council, and Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission. The leaders discussed ways to enhance economic as well as people-to-people linkages aimed at creating a better planet. Now, Indian Prime Minister Modi also paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi at the Piazza Gandhi in Rome. He also interacted with the Indian diaspora in Rome. Now, Prime Minister Modi is meeting and holding his bilateral with Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi. And Prime Minister Modi will also be visiting the Vatican City to call on Pope Francis. Now, on the sidelines of the G20 Summit, the Prime Minister will meet several European leaders, including France's President Emmanuel Macron. The in-person meeting with the French President comes as a part of the high-level exchanges between the two, including the telephonic conversation in September after the AUKUS pact that miffed Paris. India and France are aiming to strengthen their strategic partnership in the Indo-Pacific region. Prime Minister Modi's other key engagements include bilateral meetings with German Chancellor Angela Merkel and a pull-aside with the Spanish Prime Minister and meetings with the Indonesian President and the Prime Minister of Singapore. Now, after the G20 Summit, Prime Minister Modi will also attend the COP26 in Glasgow, UK, where he is expected to highlight India's track record in the fight against climate change and transition to renewable energy. Now, Sudan, coming back to you, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Rome. Can you briefly highlight some of his engagements? And now, Sudan, coming back to you, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Rome. He is currently meeting Mario Draghi. Can you briefly highlight his engagements for us?
The Prime Minister has a number of bilaterals here in Rome. Already 2 bilaterals have happened with the European leadership. Now, of course, Mario Draghi, the Italian Prime Minister, their first in-person meeting last year. We saw the virtual summit happening between the then Prime Minister of Italy and the Indian Prime Minister. But a packed schedule. Tomorrow, the Prime Minister will be calling on the Pope at 12 noon Indian Standard Time. And that will be the first of his meetings. He will also meet the French President Emmanuel Macron. This interesting meeting given the fact that it's happening in the backdrop of the AUKUS pact. We know that the AUKUS pact has miffed France with Australia, and both the countries are allies of New Delhi. So New Delhi will be keen to see a patch-up. He will also meet the German Chancellor Angela Merkel on Sunday, the outgoing German Chancellor, and seen as literally the face of Europe. She has been the Chancellor since 2005. So that will be another key thing that will happen over the weekend. But in Glasgow, he meets a number of leaders, including the Prime Minister of Nepal, Japan and Israel. These are new Prime Minister, new leaders of these 3 countries with which, of course, India is seen having a very special relationship.
Absolutely, Zran. Thank you very much for keeping us up to date with all the latest.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.